Alright, so today we are going to be talking about the year and, the year of 2020. And before I do the cards that we are going to look at, there is lots of things going on. Okay, there's lots of things going on. And what I meant is we have something to do and what to say. Okay, um, there is a big portion of things that is happening around the world, as you can say. I will move some of the stuff so you can see more of it, not just like these cards and these and this. Okay. Um, as you can see that we are going to talk about a lot of things, and you know what I usually do, I have my paper here, okay, and I'm going to read it. So this is based on, this is actually the, well, basically this is what's going to happen, and I'm going to reveal all the cards that what they are going to say to you. Okay, so remember, um, all things go into a different way of thinking. Okay, and a different way of thinking is where you think about the positive, not the negative. That's what I always say to all my viewers. And we are going to be talking about what's happening right now. Okay, and we usually do, right? We usually do. But the thing is that that's what we're going to do, is we're going to think of a way of being positive, right? We have to think of a way of being positive. If we can't think about the positive, we are going to be in a negative state, okay? The year of 2020 is basically actually a pastime with all of us, like the losses and the devastation, and it's all like a failure, like failing a test, right? And in my understanding about what Jesus Christ is saying to us is where we have to believe in Him in so many ways, in different ways, even with His churches that we want to recommend, or go to, or do churches in our own homes, if you can get what I'm saying. The point being is that we have to relate to Him in different ways, right? Like for me, I actually do two things, using the tarot as a tool, but I'm actually using it as a direction of where my viewers are going to go, right? And we are going to pursue that together. We are going to pursue it, right? And when we pursue things, we have to recommend that. Now, before I get the camera to go down, so you can see all the cards that I have, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards I have on the table. And we are going to look at the 9 cards. Okay, it's based on a fact of what is God's word of 2020. What's the end year of 2020? And we have to look at what Jesus is saying, right? If you were asking me, who's God, or what are you talking about, or what God we are talking about? The God that we're talking about is the good one. Okay, the good one. And around the world, when we have chaos and disappointment and disaster and devastation and losses and pain and failing a test and all those things, that's what the other God is, the God of evil, right? And I actually met him once. True story. But anyway, and it gave me a whole entire the point being of that, right? I'm not going to get into detail about that. But the point is that this is going to be based on factor of a solution, right? We have the problem, situation, and action, the three things. And we have to look at it as a positive way. If you think about the negative, it's going to train you down, right? It's kind of like playing a roulette wheel. It's like you want to hit the red, but you're going into black, which means that you're losing, right? And when you keep doing that, it's like a win and loss situation. It's like a 50-50 chance. It's like a gamble in a way, right? But we have to interpret this as a good way of thinking, right? A good way of me promoting this to all of you who are my viewers, okay? And we have to understand that into our own reality, which means if we believe in God, we believe in so many ways. That's what I always tell you, right? And we have to know which direction we're going to. Is it the west, east, north, or south? You know, those are the things. It's kind of like what I said to you when I did the twin flame video, right? Look on that, where you look at the, you went from the west, you're going to the east, or you're going from the south, or you're going towards the north, It's like the two doors at the back of me. There's one here and there's one here, okay, left or right, right? Those are the things you have to look at. Which door you're going to take, which door you're not going to take, So you have to understand that, basically, in my point of view. Now, here we go in my interpretation of which card I'm going to do. I'm kind of feeling excited because, well, I woke up a little bit early, way early, but yeah, 5:30 in the morning, like 5:43 in the morning. Yeah, so I basically ran out of sleep, but I had a good sleep anyway. The point being is that let me not to get carried away of the whole entire situation, but I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to reveal this. So I'm going to reveal it basically for now. So good thing that you can hear me talk away all the situation that I have here. Just put my stuff there. The things I have. Things on the side you don't usually see, but usually you will see it when I reveal all the cards. Okay, so let me bring it down for you. Okay, so this is what we are going to talk about. There's 3 cards here, there's 4, and there's 2 here. Okay, and this card is a lot opposite to all these. This is how I'm going to interpret it for you. Here we go. So basically, we have the positives of 2020 and we have the opposites of 2020. So we have the 2 of Swords, we have the Strength, and we have the World. The World is actually upright, not reversed. I don't know if this would be reversed as well. The Strength and the 2 of Swords. Well, basically it's going to do like this. So we have the World, we have the Strength, and we have the 2 of Swords. These 2 are a complete opposite, which means reversed. Reversed to you, but reversed to me. These 2 is basically what are the positives of 2020, which is, number 1 is look at both sides, right? For this one, look at both sides, right? The pros and cons. Look at the positives, right? And the cons are like the negatives, right? If you look at it in a science, in an atom, which means you have a proton, you have a neutron, right? And if you add those together, they are a magnet and they connect, right? Those are the two sides you're looking at. The second one is the number two is others may question your strength, right? So maybe you might show weakness, right? That's what it kind of is, right? And the world, it represents as you close one chapter, you open another, which means reverse to you, but upright to me. It's kind of like a full completion of the cycle, kind of like it is if it's an upright. Reverse, it's the complete opposite, which means as you close one chapter, you open another. It's like opening a book. You go from the start, middle, and end, right? You can't go from start, end, and then mixed up with middle. No. So it's like you have to understand that together. And what are the negatives, right? We're going to look at the negatives. So we have the Five of Cups reversed. We have the Queen of Pentacles reversed to you, but upright to me. We have the Two of Wands reversed to you, but upright to me. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles that is upright to me, but reversed to you. And this is the card is basically what are the negatives of 2020. So basically, if we look at let's say the Queen of Pentacles, for example, that would be evil, as in the devil himself, right? We know his name, but he's real, right? And I met him once. A true story indicate that. But anyway, the point is, it's like he does chaos around the world when we are all asleep around the world, and so everyone does tarot in the whole entire thing. But anyway, the point being is that that for the Queen of Pentacles is where that's the number 4. Number 5 is actually the Five of Cups, and reversed to you, but upright to me, and it means, so number 5 is discouragement, which means that that discouragement means that you discouraging someone, right? Misleading, right? Focusing on, well, discourage is like a negative word, right? That's what the Five of Cups is. If you look at it as the picture here, if you look at the girl looking up at the cups, and she's very small, and she wanted to go up to the cup and get the key that she wanted. Well, she's too small, she can't get it, right? And that's what discouragement is where you're misleading that, right? It's kind of like someone saying, "Nana, boo boo, you can't get me, or you can't catch me." That's an old saying, right? And there's an old saying is, "Don't cry over spilt milk," right? That's another old saying. So you have to understand that in my category, right? In my category, right? And we have to understand that, right? As well. And so that's discouragement. And number 6 is news, which means the Nine of let's say the Two of Wands represents where you see that as where he doesn't know which way he's going. We have that as news, which means there is positive of the news or there's negative of the news, right? Whenever you hear the news, you think, oh my God, he did this, oh my God, he did that, oh my God, he did that. All the negative stuff, right? And that's bad stuff, right? Like accidents and horrors and everything else, right? And he doesn't know which way he's going, right? Left to right, or back and forth, or east or west, all those things, It's kind of like following the yellow brick road in The Wizard of Oz. You came from the mere munching land, and then you're going to the cornfield. Well, the next thing you know, you have to get from the dark forest to get to Emerald City, right? And then you will be halfway there. That's why you don't know which direction you have to go, right? It's kind of like falling into a maze, right? You entering the maze, and you don't know which way you're going. If you're going one way, you're going to get stuck. If you're going the right way, you are doing good, right? But there are other times we're going to fool you, where you are, you're a component, which means in my mind is where you have to think about the positive, where you are going, and the point is, it's like you have to, if you're going into a maze, or you're falling into a maze, like entering the maze, you go from start to middle and end, and if you're at the middle, you're stuck, right? And you have to go around it's kind of like going around a obstacle. You can't go through it, but you have to go around it, So you have to understand about this picture here, okay? So that's what that is, okay? Now, not only that, the Knight of Pentacles and in the world represents Leo and Virgo energy. So if you're both that, you're doing great. If you're August, of the month of August, you're a Leo. If you're a Virgo, you're a month of September. Those are the two. And not only that, the world represents Saturn, and Saturn, known as the shadow goddess and the god of justice, right? The god of justice is a worship of kind of like having authority, like the health officials, right, around the globe, around the world, which means that they help us to understand where COVID-19 is going. That's why we have to believe about the vaccine, like the Pfizer vaccine, Moderna vaccine, you name it, right? That's what the world is, right? That's what it's called, the God of justice, right? And we have to believe in that circumstance, right? We have to understand that. And remember how I said the world is like the full cycle of completion? That's what we're going to do with this whole entire pandemic. Okay, the whole world is in a pandemic, and we have to understand who did it. The only one who did it was, in my mind experience. Okay, as you can see to my actual face, the world card. Okay, the world card represents a full completion. That's what it's called. But in my interpret mind is where the only one who actually did the chaos and did the pandemic, not the Chinese people, not the China community. It's the actual identity of the opposite of Jesus Christ, which is Lucifer, okay, bafflement, other kinds that you can name it, Okay. And remember how I said that sometimes there's chaos around the world, and we only knew that, oh, this person did this person did that, this person did that. The only one who's actually having warfare from heaven to actually, well, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say sorry to all my viewers. From heaven to hell, which means that the hell is actually, well, where the evil spirit that I just said before, he does chaos around the world. Okay, he's the only one who did it, because the basic baseline of this, okay, is actually on December 31st, 2019, before the pandemic even hit, was Jesus Christ and Lucifer, Baphomet, and the other name, starts with S and ends with N. Anyway, the point being is that those two played chess in heaven of the kingdom of God. And those two actually played chess. Jesus was doing the white chips and the white pieces, and Baphomet did the black pieces. White goes first, right? And anyway, it's actually a full completion. What I said about the world card. And what that means was that the two, the good spirit and the evil spirit, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is. The point being is that the only one who made the pandemic work is actually the God of the devil. Okay? Because he won the chess tournament of the kingdom of God. And the point being was that who invited him to come into the kingdom of God was Jesus Christ. Okay? And we have to worship Jesus in so many ways. Remember how I said homes and churches, and you can actually do churches at home, like home church, right? You could be your own pastor, even if you want. Anyway, the point being is that we have to create a way to believe in Him, which means we have to get our prayers answered, we have to receive our answers, and then actually we just have to get the pandemic and be over with it, right? So we have to interpret it as a good way, okay? And we have to understand that when I said the Saturn card, what the world was when it says the God of justice, right? That's what Jesus is, right? He's the authority. He wants us to believe in Him. But the only one who is opposing the opposite is the devil, right? He goes around, comes around. That's an old saying. But the point being is that we have to look at things in a different way of thinking, right? It's a good way to interpret this. Anyway, back to my own stuff here. Okay, so that's what I have. Now, the other card is that I'm going to say in my own belief, where I'm just going to read you more. The God's last word of 2020 would be anxiety. And the anxiety of the Bible, the Holy Bible, would say chapter Psalm 34:14. Chapter name is Taste and see that the Lord is good. And actually, in the scripture, it says, turn away from evil and do good, seek peace and pursue it, which means believe in the possibilities of the vaccine, believe in that, right? Believe that everyone's going to be secured and being not going to say exposed to the virus, but being protected by the virus, right? So indignity of that in that statement, that would just say, what goes around comes around, which means we have the vaccines and they're going around the world, right? Even if the news is slow, like a snail, but I'm like interpreting, well, like hopefully we can get this done and over with, right? It all takes time to be patient, be kind, be calm, and stay safe, right? Or be safe. And those are my words. That's what kind of like what Dr. Bonnie Henry is saying as well, right? Anyway, the point being is that the question was, when we go back to the Knight of Pentacles, the Leo and Virgo, that before the six of what the news was, it's just the picture a puzzle of God. So basically, in this one, that I'm going to reveal, well, I just put these cards. I'm not going to say away, but I'm just going to put them over here onto the other side. Okay. So hopefully you can understand what I'm saying. Okay. So we have this card and we have this card. So, so anyway, we have that. Anyway, the point being is that the puzzle name, it represents, we have the monkey, the spiritual animal, and it says, try something new. And that interpret itself. I know it's upside down to you, but it's yeah. See it's okay. Well, anyway, it's upright to me, and it says try something new, and that's what the puzzle is, the puzzle name. And in the spiritual animal, spiritual name monkey is perform a show, or create a game with playing cards. Okay, that's what you usually see me as when I do, or usually when you hear me playing my own creative game called Fade Out's game, and it's based on like my way of Texas Hold'em. Okay, usually you get 4 cards and work your way up until you get 7 cards. Sometimes one of my friends, we usually sometimes get 8 cards, but that's unusual, right? And basically it's fun, it's competition, makes the time go fast, and if you're very good at it, you're very good at doing math. If you're not very good at it, you know, I usually sometimes teach all my friends how to play the game, right? That's why I call myself the FTO teacher, Fade Out's teacher, right? And usually it's my way of doing math, right, and help my brain think, and my card game is actually a bit of addiction to it, because it makes the time go fast, and you know what I mean. You have the adrenaline of your heart racing so fast because you want to hit a royal flush and you missed it and blah blah, right? But the point being, back to the to the cards of these, and back to this. Okay, I'm not trying to get off topic. Anyway, the point being is that it's like you have to understand that, right? And that's what it is, right? We have to understand that. And the point being is that if you were saying to me, what do we understand of what spirituality? The point being is that we have to understand to interpret in what I'm saying into staying positive, right? That's why I'm like a helper to Jesus Christ in a way, where I make videos and then I just put them on YouTube so all my fans could see them, like all my viewers, right? Not an electric fan that blows, ha ha ha. You get the joke. Anyway, the point being is that we have to just think of a way of staying positive as much as we can. I'm not going to say, well, we have to stay patient. Not to be impatient, saying we want it now. No, we have to be patient, right? Let our prayers to be answered, right? And I didn't tell you this before, but Jesus Christ has 1 million followers, and Baphomet has at least 1 million followers as well, right? Remember how I said about there's chaos and there's drama and there's lots of stuff going on. That's between the warfare between good and bad, right? Good luck means bad luck, right? That's the opposite, right? And there's warfare everywhere, from heaven and hell at the same time. So basically, when I said to you before, look at the both sides, we have to look at both sides, right? So it's like me referring back to the doors. You look at one door, you look at the other door, which way you're going, right? That's the main thing, right? But anyway, the point being is that we have to try something new. That's what it is. And the last one is actually the Five of Spades. The Five of Spades is actually the Five of Spades is emotional fulfillment, and that means that if you're feeling sad and you want to hang out with your friends and you can't do that, you are feeling emotional fulfillment. All right, but you know what? It's all okay. It all takes time. You have to understand where you're going in life, kind of like the pandemic, right? And basically, the people who are with the Five of Spades, basically there is the large groups of people, right? And if you gather so many people, what could happen? The virus could go from one person to the next, and that's how you see the death tolls go up so high, right? Even the cases, right? We have to ruling that down, which means we have to interpret of going up a ramp and going down it, right? Which means that we have to, if we're climbing up a hill, we have to go down the hill. That's what when you hear the health officials saying we have to let that curve to go down, we have to let that curve to go down, right? No matter ifs, buts, whatever it is, right? We have to keep it down, right? As much. If we lift it up too much, it's like a drawbridge. Not a drawbridge, but you know what I mean, like a toll bridge. It goes up. And when it goes up, the boat goes through, right? And then we have to wait until the boat goes, right? And then the toll bridge will go down and all the cars go through it, that's why we have to look at the curve, right? That's why I don't usually talk about the curve on my channel very much, because they don't know what the curve is, blah blah blah. But anyway, we have to just pursue in what we are facing in life, right? That's what it is. And basically, not only that, the five of spades represents, so we have Capricorn, Aquarius, Aries, and Taurus. If you are Capricorn is actually January, Aquarius is February, Aries is I think no, Taurus is May, and Aries is probably, I think it's April. I think so. Anyway, those are the ones. And if you're from Capricorn, you're 8. Aquarius is 7. Aries is 9, and Taurus is 6. And if you do the math, that'd be 43. It's numerology, and basically when I said about patience, it says a powerful combination of patience and achievement. Patience is the one thing we guarantee. Patience. Be ready to understand about solving a problem to find a solution. Okay? And what that means is patience and achievement. When we get to achievement, it's kind of like our victory, which means we are going to win, right? It's like, I don't know, going into a bowling tournament and you think that you're in 8th place and you came in 1st. That's what our pandemic is. We were from the start, and then we just keep going and going, and then we get to the middle, and then we're going to get to the end. That's how we can understand protecting people and not expose them to the virus, because people don't want to pass away and sad and getting emotional, all those things, right? So you have to let those things on a virtual ongoing, right? To emphasize my own theory of how I'm trying to interpret this of my whole entire viewers, right? To understand this, and hopefully people can get the message, right? Hopefully I can get the message to my viewers so they can understand that, because when I always tell you about the negative, it drags you down, right? It drags you down. But when you think about the positive, you could just get through it. You get through it. And what I mean is that if you think about the positive, you're going to be ending up into a victory position, right? Because, there's an old saying, is actually, slow and steady wins the race. And we have to go slow until we get to the end of the race. If we go fast, we're going to speed up and pass out. If we go slow and steady and we just keep going, we're going to get to the finish line. That's what the pandemic is all about. And we just have to entertain ourselves, which means we have to find a way of creating new things to do, right? Make the time go fast, right? And the last time I'm going to say is basically we have to have a patience and achievement. And I just put a church cross on my paper, and says worship of Jesus Christ. We have to do that. We have to pray for him every single day. We have to choose him to defeat the pandemic so we can get back where we usually are. So we don't have to wear masks, we don't have to sanitize, we don't have to wash our hands, we don't have to do social distancing, whatnot. Because, I know that every single person who's maybe my viewer out there, and they understand where I'm going through, this is what it is, right? We have to receive, in order to achieve, right? Receiving the prayer to get an answer. That's what it is. Anyway, before I let you understand what's going on, this is what is going to happen, is where if we understand the method of communicating as much as we can, there's only one way we could understand it, and which means that if we follow our heart and to be into phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, in order to achieve this pandemic, is where we're going to get through it together. There's a song to it, we're all this together. That's from High School Musical song. Anyway, that's all I can say. And like I say, have a good day to you all. Enjoy your day.